Hello everyone, it's your lovely Abbie Dagrin and welcome back to my channel, lovelies. Today I'll be continuing a series on my channel that deals with natal chart analysis, and today I'll be doing one on Rachel Zegler. I'll be speaking on her personality traits as well as her characteristic traits based off of her natal chart analysis. I'll also be speaking on a lot of the success she's endured based off of her chart. So please stay tuned for the rest of my video, lovelies. If you have not yet become a part of the Abbie Dagrin family, then please make sure you've hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know when I upload videos on the daily. Please make sure you've also hit that like button because I know you guys will love this video. And last but not least, please make sure you share this video with everyone you know, whether it's your friends, your family members, your enemies, anyone who really loves Rachel or really loves natal chart analysis. And last but not least, on your screen you will be seeing a few of the products that we have on the channel. Everything will be linked in the description box, so please make sure you go and support because we have a lot of great products that are very natural and that are very great. Now let's get right into the video, lovelies. Rachel was born on May 3rd, 2001, so this qualifies her to be a Taurus. And with this placement, she's someone who is deeply rooted in her thoughts, words, and her actions. She is a fixed sign, so that means she's the type of person who's going to stay fixed on a topic mentally. So if she believes in something, she more than likely is going to believe in it consistently without any change. You would have to have a lot of evidence in order for her to change her mind. Also, because she's an earth sign, she's someone who's very grounded. So she's someone who is going to have that dependability because they want to be grounded. She's someone who's also going to be loyal towards other people because that's something that Taurus signs tend to be. Also, with this placement, they're the types of people who are going to always work as hard in order for them to get what they want. Up next would be her moon in Virgo. So this is the type of moon who tends to be very much analytical because, Virgo placements tend to be analytical when it comes to their emotions. They are also the types of person who's very practical. So they look at things in a way that makes sense to them and they are going to make decisions based off of that. They're also very productive people. They love to always be working or doing something with their lives. And they're reliable people because they want to make sure that everyone around them is okay. So they're always going to be helpful. They're very grounded in themselves. So they know who they are and they are not going to change who they are for other people. They're very realistic. They tend to be very honest in what they do and what they want. They're very much perfectionists. They want everything to be perfect and everything to go great. Sometimes they can be anxious or self-critical, but this kind of balances out with the other previous traits. Up next would be her Mercury in Taurus. So she has a Mercury and Sun in the same placement. So that's something that is very good to have. So since she has this placement, she is someone who is going to take their time when making decisions. She's going to take into account every fact, every detail, and every consequence before she makes a decision. She's also someone who's very patient. So she will trust the process regarding things. This is her understanding of things. She's going to be an understanding person. She gives practical and down-to-earth advice. She's very reflective with her mind. She's very dependable. She is someone who's very calming. She's not going to be the person who panics. She generates trust with other people. She always knows where to stand with other people, and she's going to be honest with where she stands with others. She has a traditional approach with things, and she's someone who's very artistic. Up next would be her Venus and Aries. So this can be a bit of a difficult placement because Venus is very great in Libra, and Aries is the opposite of Libra. So because of this, she is someone who's not shy. She's going to be honest with how she feels. She's going to brag about her accomplishments with other people, and she is someone who's going to have an innocent charm. She can be very self-centered and childlike and childish at times, but she loves the chase and the initial conquest. She doesn't like someone who's mature, vague, or a cozy partner. She wants someone who's out there, childish, and just very much fun. She loves a bit of tension as it provides excitement for her, and she falls fast into being impulsive sometimes. And sometimes she can be very intense in her relationships or her friendships or anybody who she's with. Up next would be her Mars in Sagittarius. So this placement, she's someone who is going to be very much on the go. She's motivated by high moral standards and ideals. She's someone who's going to work hard to improve the lot of the world at large, but she's going to demand action. And she's not going to sit around and just talk about it, but she's going to make sure that she has change, but in an abstract manner. She may like the way that she does things, and she's someone who's going to be very much going to use literature or use her philosophies to get change done. Sometimes she can be impulsive and spontaneous, but she's also fearless in what she does. And she's someone who is going to be very opinionated with how she feels about things. And she's the person who doesn't really care about what other people say or think about her. Up next would be her Jupiter in Gemini. And with this placement, she attracts good fortune through the development of her knowledge. So being able to read information regarding new things is something that helps her with her luck. So probably looking online or looking to places to get information about her career. That's one way that she's able to gain a lot of success. Another thing would be for her to probably talk with other people because Gemini placement has a lot to do with communication. So probably her talking with other people and getting information from them is something that may be able to help a lot with her success. Being able to get a clear understanding of what's going on in her life in order for her to be successful is also something that's very important. And this is one of the ways for her to gain a lot of success and luck with this placement. Up next would be her Saturn in Gemini. So with this placement, she does need to focus on intellectual discipline, a need for structure and communication, and a potential for both deep thinking and a tendency towards self-doubt. So focusing on her intellectual discipline is something that's very important because she needs to learn different things. She'll need to learn how to problem solve different situations and also gain knowledge from that. She may also need to be able to learn how to express herself very clearly and logically and in an organized way. And this would something that she would need to work on. And since she has the Jupiter and Saturn in this placement, it can kind of bounce off because sometimes that's how she gains her luck, but sometimes she'll need to work on that. Having self-doubt is something that she'll need to work on as well, and when she's able to do that, things will get better. Up next would be her Uranus in Aquarius. And with this placement, she likes to take on social causes and find ways of solving a complex issue, such as poverty or injustice. Also with this placement, she is a part of a peer group that is about being reformers at heart. She wants to make positive change that will benefit society as a whole. She's willing to devote her time and energy to see that come about, especially in the proper group support and combined purpose of will can be found. Honestly, being careful that there isn't a lot of neglect in your own personal life and one-on-one relationships and that you're only focusing on the bigger things in life. But also, this is something that is actually a great placement. Uranus and Aquarius is actually great to have. And I feel like anyone who has this placement, they do a very good job with fighting for justice. Up next would be her Neptune in Aquarius, and this has a lot to do with finding inspiration wherever she goes, and is always thinking of ways to help society. So with this placement, they're all about thinking of new ideas and coming up with different solutions into helping society. They're also the type of generation who will idealize and even venerate the ability to remain detached, as well as the ability to objectively analyze any given situation. There will be a concerted effort on her part to cure the ills of society as a whole, but she has to be very careful that they maintain to protect other people's rights in the way of getting other people's rights. So making sure that everyone is equal and that everyone has the rights that they need, even though they're fighting for people who are oppressed. Up next would be her Pluto and Sagittarius. So since she is Gen Z, being born between 1995 and 2008, this gives her the Pluto and Sagittarius placement. It's all about having the ability to search to add to your wealth and knowledge for your enjoyment. So basically, this generation gets information basically just for fun. They're all about freedom, experimenting, exploration, and taking risk as well. They have a lot of optimism in themselves and they just have a lot of positivity. They're all about the thrill of living and having possibilities in their life. So they always look at the positivity. They're probably the generation that has a lot to do with traveling and they get to learn more about different people from other cultures. They're very open-minded to other people. So that is something that they're always learning, just for the fun of learning. Up next would be her North Node in Cancer. So with this placement, she'll need to develop these attributes. So noticing and validating feelings, having empathy for others, nurturing and supporting others, building one's own foundation in security, honest disclosure of feelings and insecurities, having humility, accepting others' fluctuating moods without judgment, staying centered to her own feelings about herself, nurturing herself and connecting to her emotions and not repressing them, identifying with the child part of herself and not only the adult, letting go of the need of control and achievement, but being able to balance that, trusting that the way she feels and not be afraid of watering it down for the other people around her, and taking care of her feelings and nurturing them as well. This is what she will need to develop. Up next would be her Chiron in Sagittarius. So with this placement, she may have had the wound of travel, higher education, or her belief system. She may have been feeling a lost or disconnection from her sense of purpose and meaning in life, struggling with higher learning, perhaps struggled with school or had no desire for higher education, lack of faith in a higher power or in oneself, struggling with commitment and feeling like there is no need of moving or exploring to avoid that. So ways of her to heal is to commit to a lifelong learning and personal growth, taking classes, reading books, or attending workshops that align with her personal values and beliefs, traveling to new places that can help broaden her perspective and gain a deeper understanding of different cultures. Up next would be her ascendant in Cancer, and with this placement, she's all about having a familiar aura. So when you meet her, you just feel like you've known her for a long time. She has a sensitivity to her surroundings. She may seem shy when you're first meeting her, but she becomes open and she gets to know you. She's typically caring and sweet. When withdrawn, she can be moody, insecure, or sensitive. A need for structure and security is something that she needs. She doesn't normally do casual relationships. She wants someone who she's able to connect with. She is a good listener and enjoys a great conversation. She enjoys comfort and possibly collecting different things. She may have a collection at home that collects everything that she really appreciates. At times, she may have an insecurity as well, and that's something that she usually heals. Last but not least would be her midheaven in Pisces. So this has a lot to do with a career path that's deeply rooted in creativity, compassion, and intuition. She may find fulfillment in artistic spiritual, or healing professions. So music, theater, film, literature, painting, and other creative outlets are natural avenues for her. And this is exactly what she does. She is an actress and she's able to connect with the audience, and she's an actress. She's also someone who's introspective in regards to her career. She's very multi-talented, so she can do different jobs, different roles. She's someone who's very creative in her role and in her job. She's very receptive to her job and she tries her best to understand her job, and she's someone who's very passionate when she comes to her job. So these are the traits of someone with a Pisces in midheaven. That's all I had for you lovelies today regarding Rachel's natal chart. Please let me know down below, did you learn more about her? Did you get a better understanding as to who she is as a person? Please let me know down below in the comment section who else you guys would want me to do a natal chart analysis on. Please make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you guys know when I upload videos on the daily. And please make sure you hit that like button and that share button. Last but not least, please make sure you are following me on all of my social media accounts as well. Everything will be linked in the description box, as well as my PayPal to support and my Gaia Beauty store. I love you all. Please stay safe and healthy, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, lovelies.